Welcome to the Sweet Spot with Samara. I'll be your host, Samara. Today we're baking a pumpkin pie. You know, perfect for the holidays and everything. So, here we go. When we actually come to baking, the first thing we do is find a recipe. Now, typically I ask my mom for recipes, and I actually called her when I was baking a pie recently, a pumpkin pie, expecting her to have a wonderful recipe, and she actually referred to one online. You're going to need for the pie crust, you're going to need some flour, some Crisco or some shortening. You're going to need some salt and then just a little bit of water, and that will all come together pretty easily. And saran wrap for this. I know that sounds weird now, but I will explain later. For the pumpkin pie filling itself, you're going to need some pumpkin pie puree, naturally, some cinnamon, some ginger, both powdered. We want it pretty fine because we don't want chunks of that stuff in there. You're going to need 2 eggs, 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, some sugar, and I believe that's it. I don't think there's any flour in that one. To preheat the oven to 425. So we're going to do that first before we do anything. What happened to our music?
I stepped and the TV turned off.
1 cup of flour. So, a little trick with flour that my mom always told me, you make sure you level the top. So you don't want to like pack it in there. You want it to get all covered and then level it off. Put it in there. Perfect. 1/3 a cup of shortening. We got some good ambiance in the background, some Christmas Pandora. It's a great station, especially for the holiday season. And now, this after Thanksgiving, you can listen to Christmas music all you want. Unless you listen to it before, and I guess that's okay if you're one of those people.
Shut up!
You don't want it to be too salty, but you want it to be a good amount of salt to contrast with the sweetness. But you're just going to get your hands in there and go crazy. I think it's time to add a tad bit of water. Today we're making pumpkin pie, and here's a crust. This is a crust that I made. A lot of people prefer just to buy a crust. This says an unbaked, it's clear, unbaked deep dish pie crust. Do you want me to restart since the music was on? I'm gonna do it anyway because I just messed myself up. So today we're making pumpkin pie, and we have to start with the pie crust before we can fill it. And this recipe says an unbaked deep dish pie crust. I decided to make my own, and the recipe I got was from my mom. It is 1 cup of flour, 1/3 a cup of shortening, a little salt, and a tad bit of water just to make sure it all comes together. You mix it all together with your hands, then you add a little bit of water, and you kind of just mix it until it starts coming together like a ball, and you make it into an actual like ball. And then I put out saran wrap. I smash it down with another piece of saran wrap on top and make it into a circle and just make it really flat, and then I put it in the pie crust, and I make sure I push it down, make sure all the edges are good and creased, and then on the top, the edge, you make sure it's all even, and then you just pinch it with your fingers together to make the little divots or whatever they're called on the top. So that's a pie crust, short, sweet, and simple. Now we get to fill the pie. So first thing on this recipe, it says combine sugar, salt, cinnamon, ginger. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, it says to combine sugar, salt, cinnamon, and ginger. So I'm going to put this aside. It says 3/4 a cup of white sugar. We also get the 1/4 a cup. There's a 1/4 a cup. Plus a 1/2 a cup is 3/4 a cup. In case you didn't know that. Fractions for you folks. We don't have like real salt that you shake out or whatever, so I can't really do that. But a little trick I learned from my mom is just kind of put some in your hand, and I believe, no, I'm not going to say that because I think I might be wrong on that. But I know that it's like 1/4 of a teaspoon in the little like crease of your hand. So I believe this is about a 1/2 a teaspoon. I'd rather not, I mean, if I'm a little low on salt, I think that that's going to be okay. Just try not to put too much salt in there because then it's not going to go well. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Alright, there we go. Got my teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/2 half a teaspoon of ginger. It says so mix those in a small bowl. Beat eggs lightly in large bowl. So here's my large bowl. It says pumpkin and sugar spice mixture. Pumpkin is 15-ounce cans. Okay. We'll add our sugar spice mixture that we just mixed. That's what it says to do. Next it says gradually stir in evaporated milk. It says shake well, so we're going to do that first. After that, it says pour it into the pie shell. For this, I'm actually only going to pour half of it in here because last time I made a pie, there's too much. So I'm only going to do half and then take the other half and make it into another pumpkin pie or something else. So we poured it into the pie shell, made sure it was mostly full but not too full, maybe like like a fourth of an inch to half an inch away from the top, maybe not half an inch, a fourth of an inch away from the top. Make sure there was a little wiggle room in there. Then we put it in the oven at 425 degrees and baked it for 15 minutes, so it just went off for the first time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decrease the temperature to 350. And we are going to, once it's done, 350. It says to bake it for, I believe, 40 to 50 minutes or until knife inserted near the center comes out clean. So we're going to start it with 40, then we'll check on it and go from there. Alright, so our timer just went off. Oh, there it's going again. After 40 minutes, so we're going to check our pie. Ooh, heat wave. Well, it came out clean, and that's what it said. So we're going to pull it out and let it cool. There we go. And then don't forget to turn off the oven, and that's your pie. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.